Medicare can be massively confusing. That's your best resource right there. Write that phone number down. It's going to be massively helpful for you, anything Medicare related. All right, anyway. Let's put this up right here, right now. This is a screenshot. I'm going to be fair with you. This is a screenshot out of the middle of an article. The article in which I took this screenshot out of has a whole bunch of information about all kinds of other stuff. I didn't want to have all that fluff in there, so I literally just took a screenshot of where they're talking about stimulus package, reconciliation bill 3.0 here, so we can talk about it. All right, so this is what they're eyeing. Now, I'm going to be fair with you. Last summer, 2025, they passed the OBBB, the multi-trillion-dollar tax cut bill. That was reconciliation bill number 1. Okay, that was their one opportunity. Well, I'm going to be fair with you. As I speak, as I film this video right now, they are still working on the final details of Reconciliation Bill number 2, which is basically to fund DHS, Department of Homeland Security, and ICE, okay? Because they couldn't get that done through their annual appropriations, so they're doing it through reconciliation. But here is number 3. They have one more opportunity to use reconciliation, and they're going to use it. And the plan is to get this thing done by the middle of August, or before they go on their 5-week summer vacation, which starts in August. They want to get it done before they leave out of town. We'll see if they can actually do that. But the point that I want to make here is that it sounds like, according to the information that's circulated out there, there's not a whole lot of information that has come out from behind closed doors on this, but it looks like they want to include things like housing relief, whatever that's going to include. We're not quite sure totally yet. Maybe some healthcare relief. Remember this much as well. I want to point this out. Remember I'm just going to say 6 months ago. I could be off by a couple months, but I'm just going to say about 6 months ago, the president was arguing and basically saying that he did not want these huge tens of billions or hundreds of billions of dollars worth of healthcare subsidies going to huge healthcare companies, but rather he wanted that money to go directly to the American people in the form of direct payments. Do you remember this? This was about, again, maybe 6 months ago, give or take a couple months, but I have dedicated videos here on the channel talking about it. He literally wants to take all that money that the federal government would typically send to healthcare providers as subsidies to basically lower healthcare costs and send it directly to us as basically direct payments and say, here, use this money how you see fit to buy your own healthcare or whatever you want with it, essentially, right? Because how are they gonna really micromanage that money if they just give us money and say, here, go buy your own healthcare, right? Basically, it's just going to be a check to us, okay? It looks like that would likely, as of right now, possibly be included in this, okay? Now, another thing I want to point out as well, and before I say this, I'm going to preface these next couple comments by saying we don't know exactly what's going to happen, okay? We don't know. No promises whatsoever, but I want to throw this out there as something to think about a little bit. Okay, remember last year, basically starting early October, a lot in November, throughout December, there was about a 2.5 month time frame there. The president came out in many interviews, in press conferences, in all kinds of different places, on social media. He came out all over the place and was talking about the distribution of a $2,000 dividend payment sometime around the middle to end or later in the year of 2026. Gee, this looks a little interesting. Does anybody want to connect the dots with me? Right? We've literally got a, what's that thing called? Dot to dot? What is that called? Where you have like all the dots and you connect the numbers and then you basically come up with a picture at the end, whatever that's called. I'm drawing a blank on the name of that right now. You know what I'm talking about, right? We can literally draw the picture right now, okay? It's all coming together in alignment. And again, no promises. All I'm saying, the president said multiple times last year, middle to later in the year, distribution of $2,000. They need reconciliation in order to do this. They're doing that. Gee, they want to have it passed by, I don't know, the middle of August. That sounds like really interesting timing. They can add a dividend. They can add a stimulus. They can add a refund. They can add a rebate. They can add a Trump change check. By the way, I coined that name quite a few months ago, right? Like rather than chump change, it's Trump change. Yeah, you like that? I like that? Seriously? I coined that. So if anybody steals that from me, hey, I came up with that name many months ago. Anyway, maybe they'll name it a Trump change. a little chump change. They'll just call it a Trump change check. Anyway, maybe they'll do something like this. Okay, again, I have no idea what they're going to do here. I'm being 100% fair and transparent with you. I don't know. All I'm saying is that the timing of this thing looks weirdly suspicious, and that's good. And they could easily do that, because here's the deal. I've said this many, many times before, and I'm going to say it again really quickly. And you've heard me say this recently in a separate video, where I was out in a video and I said, hey, where are the HE double hockey sticks is the $2,000, right? You heard me say that just the other day in another video. But my point is this. My opinion on this that I've been saying for many months, and the perfect window to distribute this $2,000, if they were to do it, I've been saying basically the sweet spot would basically be July through about the first half of September. Maybe stretching it a little bit, could say like June and going out through the end of September. But my honest opinion would be the sweet spot being like anytime in July, August, or the